All right, boys, welcome back to Yostbuilt. So tonight I'm going to introduce you to something we just purchased, and if you guys ever need your injectors cleaned, we now offer and have a injector cleaner. That's for the ultrasonic. We'll go down here for the idle test. Flip her on. But that is not what this video is actually about. So, as you guys know, I was down in Florida for the last couple of days. As you can see, I made it back to Pennsylvania, and I brought something with me. So, over the last day that I've actually been back and got my rest in, I have been unpacking the Accord. So, if you guys don't know, this is the Yostbuilt 1996 Honda Accord. This car has pretty much every possible mod you can do to it besides a sleeve block or gear sets. So what we have, T2 T4, we have a G22. If you guys don't know what that is, F series bottom end, H series head. This head has flat face valves, valve springs and retainers. It has Skunk 2 Pro 1 cams, belt head. It has powder rods. They're capable of 1,000 horsepower. It has JE pistons that are 12-to-1 compression. It does have a 76mm eBay turbo, a custom dual 3-core intercooler, so it's about 6 inches wide. I do have the Roscoe Racing Euro R. I do have an Aeromotive A1000. It does have a competition twin disc. If you guys know anything about Accords, JDM headlights, JDM intersections, JDM bumper lights, bumper pole, TE37s, side markers. I used to have the Honda of America badges. I don't know where they went. Rear TE37s, dual JDM rear fog lights. Yes, it's a taillight car. As you can tell, the car's been sitting for a long time, so the paint job is a little beat up. It's a little worse for the wear. But I don't know if I've ever actually showed anything on the channel about inside the car. But on the trip up here, I actually filled this whole thing up with parts. It does have a steel cage. It is not chrome moly, so it adds a lot of weight to the car, which it's an Accord, it's already heavy, so it doesn't really matter. I did cut the dash in half, so I gutted everything underneath the dash. There is nothing under there except for, I believe, that ABS module, the fuse box, and then everything else is basically removed. There is no heater controls, there's no heater boxes. We do have the e-brake and the prelude shifter. There's the alternator in the bracket back there. It does have a Bride Lomax race seat. We do have a Momo steering wheel, CL cluster. The car still has all of the panels. I have not cut this car at all. I spent probably 4.5–5 hours a couple of years ago, and I removed all the sound deadening. If you guys go back and watch the video of the DA, when I removed all the sound deadening, I only took about, I think, 12 pounds out of the car. On this Accord, I removed 32 pounds in sound deadening. It does have explicit speed ESP mounts. It does have a Taco traction bar. That's the eBay traction bar. I don't know why they call it Taco, but that's what it is. A good friend of mine, Juan, he is a welding teacher at MechTech. If you ever go to Central Florida, you want to learn how to weld and everything, he actually fabricated this manifold for me. It is a one-off custom built manifold to make a front facing. He also fabricated the intercooler. As you can tell, he made a mount and everything, so it is solid. There is a intercooler pipe he fabricated that we'll have to modify a little bit. He did make an up pipe. He also did the cage. So yeah, underneath this car there's a custom fuel cell. Let's see if we can get under here and see. You can see the Fat 4 custom billet control arms. You might be able to see the ST sway bar. You see the dual fuel lines right there. They feed a set of Bosch 44s with a pre-filter. So basically, oh, the car also has the CL rotor over hub. As you can tell, there's no sunroof. Rear disc conversion. CL front brakes with the Brembo pads and everything. So that's what we brought up here. Well, this right here, even though it looks really ugly, is another built G22. So this is my spare motor. This has a fully ported head, just like that one. I mean, that one's not ported. This one's ported. This is a Bisimoto long rod setup. If you guys don't basically understand the difference between a long rod and a short rod setup, long rods, they basically help the motor rotate without causing a lot of side load on the piston. So you think about your rod is like this. You have a big F22 crank. When you get the rod to start bending like this, when it goes to go up, it actually, instead of pushing the piston straight up, it tries to push the piston into the side of the cylinder wall. It creates excessive wear. A lot of people don't understand that that's why the F22s make such amazing torque, because they have such a long stroke and they have a lot of side pressure on the piston. But the problem with that is that's why they also break a lot. So if you boost your F22, which is one of the most stout motors I've ever had, I've sprayed 150, 160 shot on stock F22. As long as you don't get the piston speed so high that it actually breaks the sleeve, you can keep the motors together pretty well. Like I said, I sprayed a 165 shot on a stock motor. I don't recommend it, but you can do it. So with boosted applications, you can get a long rod setup. So what the long rod does is you add length to the rod, you shorten the piston a little bit. There's a lot less side load, and it also, because you're going to a littler piston, takes weight off the piston. You're going to a lot of longer rod, it adds a little weight on the rod, which you're not really worried about because that's the strength of the motor. So this is a long rod setup. That's a regular length rod setup. That one has a set of 1,000 horsepower rated rods. This has the Bisimoto package. It's only rated to like 600, but that's fine for us. We're, like I said, with this car, you don't see any 600 horsepower cords. You definitely don't. So I'm really excited about this build. I'm really excited for it to be here because now, if you guys haven't noticed, I've been putting out a ton more videos. I have a lot more time to myself, and then with the coronavirus, I have all the time to myself because kind of can't work. But what I had shoved in this car is all over here. So right here, my spare F20B. All the brackets, the parts, extra taillights, helmet, wheel adapters, shifter cables, my old KS tuned oil pump, my Crowder cams, my Skunk 2 Pro cams, all my E85 jugs, 3 extra cranks. You can never have enough cranks, guys. If you ever take a motor apart and the whole motor is trash but the crank is good, keep it. Those things are valuable. That's like one of the most valuable parts of a Honda motor. The cranks do not break. People make 1,200, 1,300 horsepower. HA Motorsports, this is the computer that belongs in the DA. We will also use it in the Accord. With that computer, you can just swap whatever tune you want to it. I'll just upload it on the computer. Boom, there you go. And then over here on my other shelf, we have K-Tune billet shifter. We have 2 radiators. We have a 2-core and a 3-core. We have a spare F20B head. We have our catch can setup. Here's our up pipe. Here's our intercooler pipe, and an extra set of axles. So as you see, oh, in this box, 46mm precision wastegate, 50mm eBay knockoff blow-off valve, Boosted Boy special. As you know, they work, they do their thing. Over here in the corner, if I didn't show you guys, showed you all these parts, showed you all the gas, all the spare motors. We have the DA intake manifold, the DA kit, the DA distributor. Yes, the DA is gonna run too. We have all my extra distributors, all my intake piping, all my nitrous kits. If you guys didn't notice on the green car, it has a nitrous kit as well. I used to spray the living life out of that car. We also have all my Lenzos. We have a set of 5-lug slicks. So the only car we theoretically don't have slicks for at this point is the Accord. I'll have to work on that. But yeah, that's the only car we don't actually have slicks for. We do have my TE37s. If you guys, I always get questions about them. I purchased them off of a guy that had them on a 240. He imported it from Japan 2004-ish. I paid a lot of money for them. The guy that first originally got them Had them powder coated the Army green at IPG. If you guys don't know who IPG is, they make a lot of K-Series parts. They actually have a CRX that runs, I believe, 9s now. Good group of guys. They're in amazing shape for how old they are. These are actually my old Federal autocross radials that I had on the Juke for a while. 18 by 8 plus 33 offset. So they fit amazing on the car. As you can see, the fitment is incredibly tight. So I'll have to raise it up, of course. I haven't driven this car in probably 6 years, 5 years, maybe more. Yeah, because before I got my house. So yeah, I haven't driven this car in probably 5 years. When I moved into the house, I had my CB7, which this motor that's in this car was in my CB7. It made 241 horsepower or something like that on E85, which isn't that great, but it isn't that bad. I tried out ITBs. I actually posted a picture today on Yostbuilt of when it used to be ITB, when I was actually mocking everything up. Because when I first got that motor, it was non-VTEC, which I actually have the rods and pistons out of it because I put the rods back in this motor with higher compression pistons. Let's see what else I want to cover. That's about it, guys. So, like I said, the green car is here. The DA is here. It's actually in the other garage right now. The Neon ACR, we have the Spirit behind us, which the next video is going to be on the Spirit. We are going to finish up the Magna Fuel fuel pump, double relay it, AN 8 feed or 6 feed. Yeah, AN 8 feed with a 6 return. Because with that Magna Fuel pump and the 1250cc injectors, which are actually the injectors that are over there in the cleaner right now, with that setup, we're going to attempt to make at least 600 horsepower. And basically the only thing we're missing now in the shop is a lift. So I'm actually going to do a video. If you notice those boxes over here coming up, we got our welders. We got 2. So we have a MIG and a TIG. So I'll do a video on unboxing all that stuff. I was going to do a video unboxing the fuel injector cleaner, but I actually started using it because, as you guys know, the Neon over there likes to have E85 in it, and it actually clogged up one of the injectors and it started running really bad. And if you guys had watched any of the videos back right before the coronavirus, we had tried to go to an event with it, and it was in our trailer, and we actually tried to unload it off the trailer and it didn't want to run, and it pulled the plugs out, everything like that. What happened was one of the injectors actually got stuck open and it flooded the motor. We pulled the plugs, we got all the fuel out of the motor, and we didn't hurt anything. We changed injectors and it ran fine, but the tune is off from the injectors we changed to, so of course we want to get our old injectors back in, get it fixed up. And the last update, as you know, we have a lot of stuff now. You can see all of our shelves are full. If you noticed in the old videos, there was not much on those shelves. We actually need to pull this thing apart. So we made a mistake. I'll take half of the blame for it. When we first put this motor together, I actually built the bottom end and I left the head for my brother to put on. Well, the 420A head on the 2.4 bottom end, the head gasket looks pretty similar all the way around. Well, I wasn't around, I didn't even check it, and I stuck the head on. My brother put the head gasket on, but I actually stuck the head on and helped him out. And not paying attention, there's one oil feed on this side of the head that we blocked off, and there was a return on the other side that was blocked off. So the head kind of didn't get oil pressure for a little bit. You live and you learn. So we're gonna have to pull the whole thing back apart. Hopefully, like I caught it early, so I kind of fixed a little of the issues. But now the motor's making a pretty bad ticking noise, and we do not want to send a perfectly good motor. If we can save everything, we don't want to break anything for no reason at all. So we're gonna pull it back apart just to verify that there's nothing wrong. Or if there is something wrong, fix it, figure out whatever's causing the tick, and then get the car back together. There's another reason you haven't seen this car in a while is, as you see, there's no fuel system. Well, this car is also receiving an AN full fuel system, so we can turn it up. We were running out of pump already with the factory fuel lines, and we put a regulator on it. And as soon as you would turn the regulator up, past 55 set PSI, the car would actually freak out and the regulator was shut and you would have 200 PSI of fuel pressure. Well, the car doesn't run like that. It doesn't run with no return. So we have a few things to fix on that. We have a few things to fix on this. Hope you guys enjoyed this update. I know I just did an update on the DA. So now that you know that, we have both of our Hondas. We have both of our turbo Dodges. Well, all three of our turbo Dodges. Our Fiat is nice and quiet with the downpipe and the stock style exhaust. The Juke, still around. I actually drive it all the time. With the coronavirus, I have nowhere to drive it, so I haven't made any videos on it. I do plan on pulling it apart, putting the clutch. We still have a fuel pump for it. We still have a underdrive pulley. We have a lot of parts for it. So there's going to be tons of content coming at you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and leave down in the comments, what do you like better, the green Accord with the turbo or the DA with nitrous? Until the next one, you guys are the greatest.